Good morning, everybody. Hey, you know what today is, don't you? Yepo. Coffee Shop Thursday. Man, that really tastes good when it's 20 degrees outside. Coffee Shop Thursday. Time when we all get together and we just kind of talk about this, talk about that, and eventually the talk gets around to what we talked about in Bible study or in church last Sunday. And today is no different. In fact, this is something that we talked about quite earlier in our Bible studies that we had going on, and it's centered around the Apostle Paul in a letter to the Romans. Man, that's a tough book to work your way through sometimes. But what's really fascinating is the way Romans ends. Chapter 16 is the last chapter. It's basically one goodbye. I mean, hello. I mean, yeah. In it, he's sending his greetings along to 33 different people. Come on, Paul. I don't know why he saved it to the end, but he did. But what makes it so cool that he mentions so many people that he remembers from back there in that church is the fact that all of this sometimes kind of tough theological stuff that he's talking about is personal. It's not just out there that we have to try to figure out and put two and two together, and you have to go to seminary in order to understand it and that sort of thing. The reason we have difficulties understanding it nowadays is a matter more of language and, translations through the ages, more so than the theology, although the theology gets pretty interesting at times. But by mentioning 33 people, he's saying this is personal. I'm just not throwing this out to everybody. This is for you. Now, the things I like about Paul, though, are when he gets himself into trouble with his language. No. Nothing bad here, just bad grammatically. Our second lesson for this coming Sunday is from Romans. It's the doxology, it's called. It's chapter 16. It's only a couple verses long, 25 through 27. The problem is, it's one big run-on sentence. Now, we've run into this before with Paul. Run into Paul with the run-on sentences. On and on and on, just doesn't know when to quit. But then he never completely finishes the thought. And that's what's happening here. And in fact, there are ancient manuscripts in which the scribes tried to fix that. And we see that they've inserted some words in there to make it a complete sentence. But in the older manuscripts that we have, he didn't do that. But it is still a beautiful doxology. Now to God, who was able to strengthen you according to my gospel and the proclamation of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery that was kept secret for long ages, but is now disclosed, and through the prophetic writings is made known to all the Gentiles, according to the command of the eternal God, to bring about the obedience of faith to the only wise God, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory forever. Amen. See, he never really completes his thought. And what a lot of them did, some of them left out to whom, so it ends up reading, to the only wise God be the glory. And that would be the gist of finishing up the sentence and the complete thought. But you know what? Paul just gets so excited sometimes in what he's writing and what he's dictating to the scribe that he just never completes a thought. So, therefore, in my sermon this Sunday, when I fail to complete a thought, think of the Apostle Paul. I'm just trying to be like Paul. Be like Paul. But it is a beautiful, beautiful thought that he does have here. And he's kind of going through sacred history, if you will, of how God has revealed himself to us, finally now, through his Son, Jesus Christ. And if you want to know how personal this is for Paul as he's writing to the Romans, all you have to do is go back and read about his life and the things he says about the way he was. Literally, he got knocked off his horse by God for God to get his attention. And that's pretty personal, right? Because Paul was going around persecuting Christians. He was the best persecutor of Christians ever. And I'm going to show them who's right. And God says, hey, I got something else for you to do, Saul. In fact, I'm not going to call you Saul anymore. I'm going to call you Paul, the Apostle Paul. Not only am I going to show you that Jesus is for everybody, I'm going to show you that you are going to be the one going to those everybody's now. Not just the Jews, but also the Gentiles. Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, the apostle to the world. You and I, apostles to the world. We are to show the love of God, the love of Christ, in all that we say, in all that we do, to all around us. God's blessings be with you on this Coffee Shop Thursday.